What's the temperature like concerning the LSU football program right now?
Yeah, I think there's maybe a cautious optimism right now. The quarterback race is coming along, I think, the way that they hoped it would right now. Brandon Harris, I think, is the guy that you're going to wind up seeing start the season at quarterback, and I think they're really excited about what he's going to bring to the offense. He can just do so many things more capably than Anthony Jennings. I think it's really going to pay dividends for them.
Well, obviously we know Jennings missed time, missed work because of his suspension. But what is the best case scenario, that Harris just wins the job, plays well, and that's that? Because we know last year it was a circus. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, including the two quarterbacks. The thing is about LSU's offense, I don't think in Les Miles' entire tenure here they've ever been more than, say, 55% run, 45% pass. They're only going to ask the kid to throw the ball maybe 20 to 25 times a game at most. If he can complete 15 of those, I think you're looking at a very successful season for that guy, whoever it is. And then you hand it to Leonard Fournette and watch what he can do behind a really good offensive line. I think the pieces are there for that to be a really productive recipe.
That's the upbeat look, that you don't have to do very much with Fournette, but that's also some of the criticism that Les Miles has received. We heard from Booger McFarland, the former LSU All-American, last night, and it just seems like Les can't really win on that front unless he wins big. And considering what has happened over the last couple of years, what's the expectation in Baton Rouge? How high can it go for LSU this year?
I think a reasonable expectation would be 9 to 10 wins. I think they can do better than that, and I think they could do maybe a game or two worse than that, much like last year. It really depends on what they do with quarterback. If that kid comes in and he winds up being the player that his talent, his recruiting pedigree would lead us to believe he can be, I think it's a team that contends in the West for sure, and maybe 10, 11 wins. And if it's mediocre like it was last year, I think you're looking at a season much like 2014.
I realize this isn't a game show, but let me ask you, what has to happen for LSU to get to 10 wins?
Just consistency there at that position. You look at the defense. I do think they need to rush the passer a little better than they did last year. They only had 19 sacks, which was really a pretty pitiful total from what we have come to expect from LSU's defense. But, they've got to be able to throw the ball consistently. They were really, truly awful at it last season. And if they can just do it competently, I think that'll open things up for the run. And it can be a team that really goes on a run.